Hey, what's up, good people? David Taub here from nextlevelguitar.com. Hope all is well. And I have a little beginner lesson today. You know, we do lessons for beginners, intermediates, advanced players, all genres of music. Today we got something for you beginners. And we're going to do it in a real kind of Eagles style using a chord progression as practice for this. And I'm going to show you how to kind of blast this technique across some of your other chord changes or things you might have been practicing, and I think you're going to like it, as well as we'll get into some different strum patterns that maybe you haven't been doing before either, which will help your rhythm and your timing. If I play a certain change, like for instance, let's say if I'm going to change from a G major chord to a G major 7th, staying on the same root note G, that sound is very kind of trademark, kind of classic rock, right? Like check it out. Right? You hear that change? It's only one note difference between those two chords, but it really changes the mood from a happy kind of major chord sound to a kind of sweet, dreamy, jazzy major 7th sound. Achievable by only changing one note in the chord, right? And then we'll add some other chords in. But if I do that chord change, a major to a major 7th in the same, on the same root, like you'll hear that same movement. Like let's say I just did it in G. Let's say if we do it in D and I play a D major chord and I change to a D major 7. You get that same kind of sound, right? Right? And it's a very cool thing, and it's very trademark, and a band like the Eagles have done this with many of their songs, and the Eagles have some other specific things as far as chordal movements that they do a lot, which we'll get into in later lessons. But let's use that as a basis for kind of a cool little progression. So here's your G major chord. You could play it with 4 fingers, or a lot of people like playing it like with 3 fingers. Either one works. They're both G major chords. One, you're playing this note, the D note twice. If you play this one, you're playing the B note twice. They're all G major. And the G major 7th looks like this. Now the first finger has to kind of, I'm not hooking it all the way over because it has to mute out the A string. So you kind of let it kind of rest on the A string because you don't want that A string to ring out. And I'm grabbing with my first finger, 2nd fret, high E string. G major 7. So if you're using the 3 finger, G to that G major 7th, just take off the 3rd finger and drop that first finger down. And you got that G to G major 7. It's a great change. Same thing really with the 4 finger G. But make sure you mute out that A string. Then you have your C major chord, E minor, D. Back to G. Okay, so we're going to play the G for one measure, then we're going to go right to the G major 7th for one measure, to the C major for 2 measures, and then we're going to go to an E minor for 1 measure, D 1 measure, and back to the G for 2 measures, and that will bring us back to the start, to G all over again, okay? And you know, at first, when you're first playing, you know, like I was showing you, just get the mechanics of those changes down, back and forth, 2 at a time, then add the next one in. And go slow, and you will get it. It just takes a little muscle memory, a little practice, and you'll be doing it. And for a strum pattern, let's do a really, really simple one, just to get you started using all downstrokes. We're just going to use all downstrokes. And we're going to do something like this. I'm just going to play a G chord. I'm just using 6 downstrokes. Down, 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 down. But there is some rhythm in there. Remember, it's the rests, the repeated series of rests, which gives a rhythm. It's gives music its life's blood. You know, like if I was, I'm not doing this. If I was to play the G chord, I'm not playing it like this. Right? That has no rhythm to it. Here we're leaving a little rest. Right? So it's like down, rest, down, down, rest. And that is an easy strum that most beginners can do because you're not really worried about upstrokes yet, which we'll have to bring in later. But it's kind of a cool strum that you could use just with downstrokes on all the chords, but just don't play on every single 8th note, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and because that sounds very sterile, very mechanical. You got to yank some of those out, give it some rest. So the strum again, if I just hold the strings, is just down, 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 rest, down, down, rest, down, down, down. Right? So let's do it on the chord change real slow. So here we go. 2, 3, 4. 2 measures on that C. Now start over. See, that simple, that fast. You could be playing something musical, right? And you don't have to worry about the upstrokes, and that sounds a little bit more rhythmic because of the rest. And you're working your chord changes, that muscle memory. And this is a real, very classic rock kind of sounding progression. And you're really working that G to G major 7. Try the same thing like on a D to a D major 7 to like a G, and you get this. 2 measures on the G. Right? Very easy, very fun. And when you get that down, maybe then try maybe a little bit more of a sophisticated strum pattern, something maybe that's maybe just a little bit different, maybe a little bit with some upstrokes. Like an easy one is like a down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up. I'll do the changes with you. That strum pattern, 2, 3, 4. Easy, right? Fun. Notice the second measure on the G chord that time around. What I did was the first time I used the strum pattern, down, up, up, down, up. But then I just did all eighth notes. On the last chord, doing that all eighth notes, all down sometime, really kind of builds the dynamic to bring you back to the start of progression. So try that on whatever progression you're playing on the last chord, the last measure, just kind of do that downstroke. Maybe like I kind of started it mellow, and you bring the volume up. That's dynamics in music. That's very important. It's just a straight eighth note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So give these a try, and try this major to major 7th in the same root note. G, G major 7th, D, D major 7th, A major 7th. You know, and it really adds a lot to your chord progressions. You can kind of get that kind of Eagles flavor in what you're playing, and try these with different strum patterns, and that progression is just a practice progression, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. And if you're not familiar with a lot of these open chords and you want to see them written out, you know, sign up for our I have a free 11-page ebook. It's just a short ebook that talks about open position chords and has them all diagrammed out, as well as how to get your chord changes better, and a diagram of the fretboard and some other chords. It's really helpful, and we send that out for free. So just click on the link below this video. YouTube changes its format. Sometimes it's over here, sometimes up there. Right now it's below. Click on that blue link and that will take you to a screen. Fill it out and we'll email you a free ebook on some of these open chords, and it will help you with your chord changes, and just one of the services we provide at nextlevelguitar.com. Be sure to go to our website. We have over 850 video lessons and growing. We add new content all the time. Beginners, intermediates, advanced, all genres of music, acoustic, electric. It's packed. Check it out, and subscribe to our YouTube videos by clicking on that subscribe button. I'm David Taub, co-founder of Next Level Guitar, and we will see you in the next lesson. Rock on.